What is good, everybody, and welcome to the Weekday Wagers right here, the Wednesday edition. And yes, I am so glad that a lot of people are being able to dig out of this ice storm or snowstorm, depending on where you live, and kind of resume normality again. Listen, we have got so much going on today. Rob is not here, but that opens the door for somebody to sit in his spot. Can't wait to show you who that's going to be. But before we get to what we have on tap for today, let's go ahead and look at what happened yesterday. And it was ugly, except for a good old Macklin Celebrini coming through with the 2+ points there. The Clippers and the Utah Jazz, two predominantly fast-paced teams in the NBA, just couldn't get out of their own way last night. So let's move that one to the side and bring in the guy who's filling in for Mr. Robbie Hockey. DG, first of all, this is so weird to have me on this side of the screen. And
you knew it was happening, Mark. I'm taking over. Me and Margot are taking over the show real quick. Margot, wave at everybody, say hello to the good people, and then
hey, Margot.
Here. All right, scram, kid. Yeah, I'm excited to be on this side. I've never been on this side, and we talked about it I guess briefly, and I was like, you know what? Let's keep everything the same. Let me just fill in for Robbie over here, and I'm going to do my best to completely get this show off the rails.
Well, it won't take much. If I know us, I know that that's not a very high bar to overcome. But listen, there's a lot happening in the football world, right? The New York Jets are doing New York Jets things. We can touch on that in a second. But more importantly, in the NFL, the Hall of Fame ballot came out. And I know, listen, Belichick, if he isn't the measure of what a Hall of Fame coach should be, what it is, but your thoughts on why he might have got left off for this first time around?
Yeah, I think you got to look at why and what's happened since. Like, we're talking about Bill Belichick, who has more Super Bowl, honestly, rings than anybody else. And so at that point, you can't get a guy who has done all of that for the NFL, is arguably around the league and around fans known to be the best, coach ever within the game. You can't leave him off the first ballot. Somebody had a vendetta, and maybe it's because of after leaving how his personality and everything has clashed off. That's got to be it. There's no reason that you would look at his stats and his accolades and say we're going to allow him to not be voted in first.
And well, let me ask you this, because you bring up his stats and all the accolades. Do you think that the tarnishment of all of those accolades and all of those achievements is the Spygate scandal that he was involved with, and deflate or inflate gate, however you want to look at it, with the inflated balls that Brady was using? Do you think that has something to do with it? And if so, what's the timeline to come out of that penance sort of mode?
Yeah, I think he gets voted in next year. I think what's happened is the writers, to which, why the F are the writers the one voting all this stupid stuff, man? Like, let there be a committee of former players, former coaches, former commissioner, whoever, and have them be the people that vote. These writers are dumb idiots. They're all probably in Oklahoma City, living all together without the internet and not aware of what's going on. And they're all coming back on this saying, hey, we hate Bill Belichick now because he went to North Carolina and he sucked as a coach. So I think he gets in next year. I think their point has been proven. And yeah, it might be because of Deflategate, Spygate, all that BS. But in the end of the day, I don't care. He gets in next year for sure.
Yeah, look, still, 6-time Super Bowl champion? You know what I mean? It's hard to take that away. You bring up committee. Maybe we should just have the NCAA College Football Playoff Committee do the same thing for the Hall of Fame ballots. And, as long as he's in the top 12 next year, he gets automatically in, something like that. Just a thought.
We'll see. We'll see. I think the vendetta is strong, but I think enough smoke is here that they'll allow him in no matter what.
Perfect. Let's shift gears. You and I have not talked about the NBA in much detail, and we're up against a trade deadline that's looming for the NBA. A lot of players have come out already and requested trades, Giannis being the most notable of all of them. What are your thoughts, especially as we approach the trade deadline? How does that affect what's happening in the association?
Yeah, and shout out to you, D. Johnson, hanging in with us and everybody else in the chat. I'm looking at this trade deadline within the NBA, and I'm seeing the big names, and we're taking LaMelo off now because I think LaMelo has solidified himself within that franchise to say, hey, I think I'm willing to stay and do what it takes and kind of get my act together. So I don't think LaMelo, it being one of the bigger names, moves, but Giannis definitely could be on the move. I wouldn't expect it though. His is a big contract and a big name to be moved at the trade deadline. I think a lot of times what you can have happen with I guess a big of a contract he has, I think he's almost at 50 million. You might have to move him in the offseason. And the reason I say that is because more teams have flexibility when it comes to making moves compared to being kind of hunkered into this season's cap number. So his number being so big, that could actually make a move. But Giannis could be on the move, and a team like, Miami has been, I guess speculated, a team like the Grizzlies who have Jaren Jackson Jr., who teams love. They could be. Ja Morant is another name, but at this point, Ja's hurt, out 3 weeks because I think he stubbed his toe or he might have clipped his fingernail and hit that quick. You know how sometimes you hit the quick and you just don't feel right, so you might be out for 3 weeks of your job? Yeah, that's what happened to Ja. And so at this point, I don't think he ends up getting traded.
You don't think he would get moved despite the injury? We saw that with
Trae Young, yeah,
in Atlanta, where he's in Washington now, but he hasn't played since getting there.
Right.
What's it going to take for the Grizzlies to get to the point where they're like, Ja's got to go?
Well, I think to the point of he needs to be the one that requests the trade. I think that's what have to be, because in Memphis, just being very honest, like we're ride or die, and like until the wheels fall off, like I will fight for my family. I will fight 100%. I know I'm a grown man saying this, but we take care of each other, and that's kind of the Memphis style. And a lot of people think we're kind of crazy, which is probably true.
Mm-hmm.
But like Ja is becoming a Memphian. He's made some dumb mistakes. There's a lot of the fan base that's still behind him, and I think it would be risky to move on if you don't get a good deal. If you got a good deal, if you get the Desmond Bane deal, I think that's something that you would obviously look the other way. But I don't think you're getting, honestly, you're getting Cheez-Its and maybe a cracker or two thrown in there for a guy like Ja Morant instead of actually getting that filet mignon that you want. So, yeah, there's no way we get that.
And you mentioned Memphis being on the radar for Giannis. How feasible is that?
Well, they have the contracts. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a guy that Milwaukee could build around, because you got to think, like, where around the league would they get a team that would be willing to come off of a guy that's entering into his prime,
right,
that Jaren Jackson Jr. would be. Giannis has obviously not been happy. He wants to have his brothers on the roster. I think there's a trade that would facilitate something like, Jaren Jackson Jr., Santi Aldama, and then maybe there's a pick or two coming back the Grizzlies' way, and they can throw in another player if they needed to. But realistically, the Grizzlies are one of the teams that could actually make it work. I don't, like I said, I don't expect Giannis moving, because if Giannis moves, that completely flips everything on its head, even though I would do it in a heartbeat. Anything for Giannis and Luka, I would be willing to give up. I'd even let him have Margot.
That's a huge concession. I'm sure the Minnesota's on the phone now going, we need to make this deal. Last thing about, and I know simply because you know this Memphis Grizzlies team inside and out, landing a guy like Giannis, what does that do to their playoff hopes?
You know what? I've never thought about that. I think it all depends on what Ja can be, because you still need a point guard. They're not too far out of it where they couldn't make a run, but you got to understand, like, we're within 2.5 months of the season being over. Right. I think they can make the playoffs, and I think they'd be one of the teams that you would not want to be up against in the play-in tournament, because at that point you're talking about Josh should be healthy. They're going to get back Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr. They also have the emerging player of Cedric Coward to surround a guy like Jaren. I'm sorry, not Jaren, but Giannis. And so at that point, I think that it would give them a fighter's chance. I think you got to look at the next year, because, they would still be a team that's coming back with now Ja and Giannis, who the pick and roll spreads the floor. You get some shooters, and at that point, you can actually knock down some open shots. And so that would be the idea, because Jaren isn't that player.
Okay. Okay,
I
interesting.
got a question though, because Joe's asked me about the Wolves get anyone. I don't see the Wolves doing much this season because they do have Naz Reid, who's under that big contract. Rudy Gobert is obviously still there. Randall's still there. I don't think they're having they don't need to jump and do it. They know that they're good enough to win. I just think they need to be healthy enough in the playoffs. They might do something that might be a bench player here and there. But in my opinion, I think that they have what they like. I just think they had to get healthy and like a guy like Terrence Shannon, who was big for them in the playoffs last year.
Well, you know who is making big moves? He's going to be on the show tomorrow, I believe, right?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors: original, hot, and no salt. That's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
I love me some Bassett Blends. And you know what else I love? I love the fact that we should see a ton of goals scored in this game between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Columbus Blue Jackets. First of all, we're catching Philadelphia on the road, and that's why I'm taking the first period over 1.5, and it's a little juicy at minus 135, but I promise you it is so worth the squeeze here. 92% of the Flyers road games have seen the over hit. It's just phenomenal how leaky these teams get when the Flyers are on the road. In fact, the last game they played on the road, the Flyers were the team that scored 2 in the first. So they have the offensive potential to really put up goals. I love this spot simply because the Blue Jackets are playing rejuvenated hockey right now. They got a new GM, new coach, and they are starting to believe in the Blue Jackets again. Jet Greaves is going to be in goal. He's been fairly consistent, a little leaky. If he gives up one and Samuel Arison gives up another one, we get over this line here. I expect a lot of goals in this one, and I expect that to start in the first period.
Let's go to the hoops, and let's go with Cam Spencer. Everybody knows I love Cam Spencer. He's been a guy that, honestly, as a facilitator, not a scorer, he's racking up assists. But I want to look at the over 8.5 assists. I like this line now. I was going to play the 10, but then when the 8.5 fell to a plus 104, him doing it 7 out of the last 9 games when Ja has been out. He's averaging 10.4 over those 9 games. But the last 5 games, he's went for 11, 13, 11, 11, and then 13 as we played it last time. I like the sprinkle of the 10-plus assists at plus 158, a sprinkle on 11-plus assists at plus 255. And if you know anything about me, I'm going to go back to the well. So if you're on Just That Sports, you can be a member. It's not much. Data 100. I'm already playing Matas Buzelis and Con Knipple. So let's get is it the trio of the Great White Hope, Mark? I think that's where we're at here on a Wednesday.
That sounds exactly what that's like. Let's go for the trio. We have come up to that time, and Boom Boom brings up a great. Your American hockey player, Taj Thompson, or Tage, depending on how you pronounce it. It's Taj. Taj Thompson lit the lamp last night. My guy. 4 out of the 5 people on the list lit the lamp. I don't. What are you doing?
I'm saluting American.
Okay, that's not saluting. That's the pledge.
I mean, same thing. Hand over my heart, Mark. America.
So,
my American. We
all right.
the people.
We the people.
As Helen's son said.
Yeah, we the people. All right. Well, we the people enjoy and love this Light the Lamp. We got Nate McKinnon at minus 110, Martin Necas at plus 150, Bo Horvat at plus 165, Brady Tkachuk, if you know, at plus 180, and Travis Konechny at plus 220. DG.
Don't ask me. All right. We're not doing Nate McKinnon because that's stupid. Minus 110 for a goal. Martin Necas, whatever. He can't be American. Bo Horvat, we found out he's Canadian.
Yep.
I'm correct, right? All right. So we're not Brady in honor of Soupy T. Kachuk. He's American, right? Brady's American.
I believe so.
All
I
right.
believe the Kachuk brothers are.
Yeah, they're American. And then Travis Corney, I don't know who he can't be. I assume Mr. Corney can't be. So let's ask. Why not? Mr. 8 Ball about Brady Kachuk.
I love that you always have that on the ready.
Ask again later. Well, bro, we're on a show. This is stupid. All right, one more time, ding dong. We're on a show. This is live. Don't screw it up. Seriously, you're on the side. Like, this is not good for anyone. Like, you're literally on the side. Give me the answer. Oh my God. This might.
Who are you asking about?
Cannot predict now. Kachuk. It doesn't make sense. The stupid 8 Ball is honestly, I should be able to get my money back. There should be some kind of a warranty. If the 8 Ball is dumber than me, I need to have some kind of something brought back to me. I'm going to go with Brady Kachuk just because the 8 Ball is stupid, and I don't believe that it's smarter than me.
Miss Kim says we should have Margot do it for you.
They're across the house. They're probably watching some stupid bunked show, or they're now watching iCarly. I don't think I can get a hold of them quick enough.
Oh, all right.
Maybe.
Well,
but if one of them pokes their head in, we'll do that. We'll change on the fly.
Gotcha. Give me Mr. Travis Konechny.
Excuse me?
Pictured right here. I'll tell you why. The Flyers and the Blue Jackets, I expect to see a ton of goals in this one tonight. It goes right into my first period over. I love the fact that we're going to see a lot of offense from both of these teams, these squads. And Travis is the guy who's on that first line who is really leading the charge for the Flyers as of late. I love him to score here, especially since it's at plus 220. And there's only 3 games to choose from tonight, right? So we're limited in that respect. I'll tell you what, if Margot pops back in, we'll come back to this. But do you want to see if maybe, because Martin Necas is a good one?
Who's he play for, Mark?
The Avs.
Martin Necas. Is it Necas? Nekas?
Necas.
All right. He's Czechoslovakian. I know Soupy can't spell that. All right. Let's ask this stupid thing again. All right. Hey, dum dum. Can you tell me an answer for Martin Necas or whatever? Necas. Concentrate and ask again. This is the 3rd time, Mark.
You're not focused. That's what I'm getting out of this. This is a you issue, not a 8 Ball issue.
This is dumb. This is stupid. How about we ask Nate McKinnon, because it's obviously minus 110. We'll ask this one. All right. Is Nate McKinnon going to score a goal? Because you don't even know what light the lamp means. Most likely. All right. There we go. He's not going to score, though. I promise.
He's not going to score.
That 8 Ball is dumb.
Rich did ask us a question. What do you guys think of the over in the Boston-Atlanta game? It's at 231.5. Yep. And player props have just been horrible lately, he says. Thoughts?
Listen, you are more the totals guy on that Celtics Hawks. I would assume this is more of a 3-point shootout. In a sense, if I had to look at this, because we're talking about Jalen Johnson now being the lead guy for the Hawks, Dyson Daniels. They're going to get up their 3-point shots, but 231.5 seems like a lot. I'm curious if they've played this season. They have not played this season at all. This will be their first matchup.
Yeah, the model has this one literally at 231.9. So that
I'm sorry, they played on January 17th. Look at that. I'm an idiot.
What was the total in that one?
Let me look at it real quick. Looks like it was 132 to 106.
So yeah, they had 138. I can do the quick math.
Golly.
238.
Yeah. It looks like if you look at the Atlanta Hawks games, they've gone over 8 of the last 10 games when they played each other, but realistically 5 of the last 10 for Atlanta, 4 out of the last 10. I'm not a big guy on Wednesdays of going overs. I just feel like it's not. Mondays, I'm a big over guy for whatever reason. So I would say I would hold off on that. I know we have the numbers on the first halves as well.
Yeah, I was just looking at that,
It doesn't
and
like either.
the model doesn't see an advantage on either side of that either. It's really right at that line. The model has it projected at 117.8, and the line is at 118.5. So that's interesting, though, that it's actually lower in the second half as opposed to the first half here.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. I haven't followed these teams on the totals as much, realistically. And so I've stayed away from the Hawks ever since they traded away Trey, because their whole team dynamic changed. And so because of that, when a big player changes and he's not playing or is gone, or there's no player brought back other than CJ McCollum, I have stayed away from them completely.
So I'm glad you brought this up, and I got asked by a subscriber at justicestatsports.com that the totals, for whatever reason, seem to be so wonky that they had fallen in line, and now it seems like teams just can't score goals or score points. And I thought immediately of the Portland Trailblazers, who, for like their 3 out of the last 4 games, they haven't been able to score more than 12 points in the first quarter. What do you think is not the cause of it, but do you think like the trade deadline and those sort of things go into, things just not clicking? You don't find that same kind of cohesiveness?
Well, the problem with the NBA, and I will say this just because of following the Grizzlies so close, the Grizzlies have a 4-game and 6-day, turnaround right here. So you got to think 4 games in 6 days is a lot. Plus you have travel involved. And so at that point, these guys could be, not playing. They could be playing. And so because of that, I would say make sure an injury report that usually comes out around this time every day if it's the game for that night. And so just make sure if it is a back-to-back, this is when you're getting it. You're going to get the day before the game if they're not on a back-to-back. But that's what I would be careful of. Just as a coach on Coaching Company the other day, he loved backing. It was the Golden State Warriors on a back-to-back. They just beat the Timberwolves by 30 the night before, and he wanted to take them again. I said, that's the dumbest decision I would ever say, because if you're on the road, you're going to get your split, and you're cool with setting everybody the second night. You're fine with splitting on the road. And so at that point, everybody gets a win and everybody's happy. So yes, I would just be careful. I don't know why there would be the low scoring, other than maybe somebody's out, or maybe it's just the way, the team's playing at the moment. They're going to go through trends. I love trends in the NBA because it's not about matchups. It's really about who's playing, how good you're feeling, if you're seeing the basket better.
Gotcha. And listen, we would be remiss to say, yes, Joe brings up, there's no Robbie's radar. Nice try, Joe. Not going to say it. Can you get a DG DAR on Wednesday?
Yes.
I don't have a DG DAR at all. But Margo, hold on. I think you're wanted. So come back in here for a second. I don't have anybody that I love just yet, because these are dangerous for me. These games. I'm going to keep looking into it. So unfortunately, Joe, I don't have anything. And then I did see somebody else with a question. D. Johnson asked about a question, but Margo, real quick, you're here. You're over here. All right. So you see these 5 names right here?
Yeah.
All right. These guys are to score a goal. So come up here real quick. All right. Can you tell me what name, just the first name, you would like for them to score tonight? It's either Nate, Martin, Bo, Brady, or Travis. Pick one. You can pick one too, Penelope.
What?
One of those guys. Pick a name. This is live, so you actually got to do it like now. Pick a name. There's literally, you have multiple choice.
Anytime. I mean, or take your time.
What are we doing?
Just pick somebody who you think is going to score tonight. It's just a guess.
I don't know who these people are.
Neither do I, but it's okay.
Okay.
Just pick. First
What
name.
does these numbers mean?
That's the odds. Don't worry about those. Just pick somebody you name you like the most. Give me a name. You got 5 seconds. 5.
Travis.
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 Travis. We're going Travis.
Change it then.
All right. We're going Travis, Mr. Travis Corney. Do you want to change yours? Hurry up.
No, I just got
3, 2.
Martin.
We got Martin and Travis. All right. Peace out. Sorry to interrupt. Yes. So we're going Martin and Travis there.
All right. Gotcha.
So they like your pick.
All right.
Mr. Corny. He is Canadian, I did see.
Yes, he is. What was he? Oh, Miss Kim said Brock Nelson, the other American, at plus 170.
Yep.
There we go. Speaking of American, we do have American football called the Super Bowl coming up, not this weekend, but next. And you and I, we did yesterday what we talked about on Monday in the sense of coming up with a Super Bowl prop that's a little weird, a little out there, lots of fun, just kind of having a good time with it. Is there anything that you're looking at that you're like, you know what, this is my Wednesday edition for a Super Bowl prop?
Yeah, and what up? Was it J-Main? J-Main 34. I've never seen that name. So what up, man? I look at these and I'm going to go with the first one. This is the one I probably like the most. And this was a Bad Bunny wardrobe changes. All right. You can go over the under of 1.5. The reason I say over is because he's talked about wearing a skirt, dress, or something, right? In my opinion, I don't think he's wearing it the whole time. That has to be if he's away from the dress or skirt or whatever he's wanting to do. Since he said he wants to do that, that means he's going to make a wardrobe change. So there's one. I think you can get a Puerto Rican type style something and go over the 1.5 and get you to your 2. So you're coming out with one, you're in a dress, so the other one at some point, and then Puerto Rican. I think that's 3 somehow, some way that he would be there. That's my thoughts. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's my thoughts.
I agree with you here. This was the scary part is because wardrobe changes legitimately could be he comes out wearing a pants or shirt type outfit as a pull away to have a dress as a pull away into something else. I mean, there's so many different ways to get there. He's not the type of guy who I think if anything, it's going to be over the top with how many what he can do and the different costume changes, the different things. I agree with you. I think he's going over. I just saw what Nate G said. He's definitely wearing multiple dresses.
No doubt. And J-Main said he's been here 3 times this week, bro. I honestly, I'm not saying I've been here 3 times because I have not, but I haven't been. So that's on me. So I apologize. But let's go to the second one. Let's go to this one. This is more of the game stuff, right? So this is the coin toss. Everybody likes to bet on the coin toss. And so I actually was given information from our guy, Raphael, on this one. And so I wanted to ask you and the people, the good people, what percentage, what has, I guess, heads or tails? In the Super Bowl era, there have been, it looks like 49. So this will be, through 59 Super Bowls. So this will be 59 total. How many times has it landed on heads or tails, or which one has the most, do you think?
It's got to be heads, right?
All right. So that is wrong.
Is that what it means? Tails
is the leader. Out of the 59 times, how many times do you think it's actually landed on tails?
33.
31. So close. Not bad. Right. But 31 to 28, which is funny that it's that close, but 31 to 28. But I have a really good one. This is something that honestly not a lot of people probably would know because who tracks this stuff? There is a team who leads the NFL in correctly guessed Super Bowl victories. So you're guessing the coin toss. They have the most. What team has the most coin toss victories in the NFL of those 59 Super Bowls?
It's got to be the Green Bay Packers.
I don't even know where they are, but they're not first or second.
The Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? We haven't been there in so long. We don't know how this new coin works. But yes, we know how to guess the Super Bowl coin toss right. They've done it 6 times. Any guesses on who might be second?
The Bears.
Nope. It is the 49ers.
Oh, interesting.
So throwing it back to the 90s days when it was Cowboys and the 49ers. Yes, that's where we're throwing it back to. So we'll see. But yeah, I did see Preston doing this. weekday wager squares, $5. That's a good idea. We might have to figure that out.
That's interesting. I would be in on that. Yeah.
All right, we can do that one. You want to do the last one? All right, another game. I literally
hold on, just what incredibly useless stats.
Yeah, it's absolutely useless. But Cowboys have won it, Joe. So just
use that at the bar for free drinks.
Yeah. All right, this is a fun one, I thought, because this is we're using just the Seahawks. You can probably do the Patriots as well. I haven't looked, but I know that the Seahawks were on this one. To attempt a pass within the Patriots 1 yard line, so 1 yard and in, the Seahawks would need to attempt a pass in the game. The plus 400, which is the highest one we've done so far, the no is minus 700. So you're only playing one side, right? Of the yes, you're going to just not play the no. What do you think?
Guys, so here's the thing that scares me. One, I think if the Seahawks because they're in a first and goal, second, third and goal type situation, even fourth and goal. This is the part that bothers me. They are just so much more comfortable giving the ball to Kenneth Walker and let him pound it in.
Right.
That would scare me, but you would have to play the yes here because why would you? Yeah, just playing the no at minus 700 is just ridiculous.
Well, you don't have to play it. That's the other thing. We don't have to play these, but I thought it was fun because you got to assume like there could be a shovel pass, right? Because everybody gets a little bit tricky, especially let's say you go from, first down at the 1 and then they're stout and they hold you at 1, right at the 1, maybe the half-yard line. So
now you get creative.
Then you get creative on a play action. Maybe you get a lineman on the outs, and we have plenty of props on that. You get a lineman out there. You get a tight end and AJ Barner. Maybe you get JSN running a whip route to that back out. And so that could be a possibility. And you get maybe Darnold on the outside. I think that would be a look of plus 400 wouldn't be terrible. So I think there's a possibility for sure.
That's interesting. Preston says it'll be a trick play where Kupp throws it to Darnold. He's going to see a ghost and it'll be a pick 6. I don't know what the odds are on that, boom, but I'm pretty sure those got to be pretty damn good odds.
For sure. So I thought it was fun. We're going to keep doing these because obviously as we keep coming across them, they're not on American books all the times. And so there's some that are going to be out there, but I think that it opens up great discussion. And that's what this is all about.
And speaking of great discussion, I know you guys have Seabass is going to be on the show tomorrow, breaking down the traders.
Talking
traders. I am so excited. It kills me that's the TV timeout is on Thursdays. It does. It kills me because I'm like, I am a trader. I just sponge. What is going to be on in the DG den tonight when it comes to the sporting world?
Honestly, I probably won't get to watch any sports. I have learned from my older age, and I have more gray hair than I probably will admit. I've seen them a lot this week because my wife said she's not cutting my hair because we usually do it outside, and she cuts it outside, and she says freezing. So, not to go off track, but I've learned if there's not a great game that I just love, give it up and maybe watch a stupid Netflix show or watch some show that is actually pretty good. We're watching Free Bert by Bert Kreischer, actually pretty decent. So instead of going and watching some sports or whatever, I've kind of learned to kind of just, we'll hang out right now with the family. But if I'm watching anything, it's the Grizzlies game, and they're taking on the Charlotte Hornets, who are a fun team. So if any sports are on, it's only going to be the Grizzlies game tonight. Everything else will kind of just pass.
Gotcha. I'm going to have a little hockey on. It's only 3 games. And like I said, I'm going to be locked in on that Columbus Blue Jackets team. They have got re-energized, and I think that we see a ton of scoring and should be a lot of fun. But with that.
1 second, because I want to show this, and I know I'm the wow that's pushing us over the time. Tomorrow, Traders, wildest, most eventful, and deadly episode ever. And that is from the host and Miss Kim saying this. That could be, and this is going to be Thursday night, right? So we won't cover it this week.
Right.
But tomorrow, if you're watching it or the next episode on the Traders, should be really good. It should be pretty eventful. Plus, Thursday, Mark, what comes out on Thursday this week?
What comes out on Thursday this week? We get the second half of the Rank This. Rank That. See, I screw this up every single time. Robbie asks me, I go, I don't know what it is. I think it's Rank That. I say Rank That, and it's Rank This. I screwed up. First of all, if people don't know, get over to the YouTube shorts of our channel, and you have done the top 10 halftime performances.
Yes. And I watched everything back to 1993, which, and I 100% mean that. Like, I've watched most, if I fast forward through a couple of songs, I know what they're singing. There's nothing crazy happening. And then I even went back and watched my top 10 and had the help of Penelope, and she helped me. And we moved MJ from like 8 or 9 all the way up into the top 5. And so, the little spoiler alert, because I was like, man, it's so iconic from 1993 when he did it.
Wow.
I kind of had to give him more props because they didn't have, honestly, what they have now. And there'll be some surprises there. But my daughter, she wanted to put Bruno Mars as her number 1, and I had to just say nah on that, even though I loved it. I thought it was great. I had to be like, nah, we're not doing number 1 Bruno Mars. So I will give that spoiler alert. MJ's in the top 5. Bruno Mars is not number 1.
That is so interesting. First of all, when you kind of brought this idea to mine and Robbie's, like, hey, what do you guys think about this? I'm like, oh my God, that's fascinating. Because I started going through the list of all the shows that I've seen that have stood out for me. And then when I saw your list last night, I was like, damn. Okay. All right. I see it. I can't wait for the top 5 because I can't wait for the top 5.
Well, I will say that I have a couple notes, and Paul McCartney, 2005. Snooze fest. Phil Collins, 2000, swing and a miss, Disney. I did Shania Twain, No Doubt, Sting, 2003. Nah. That was simple. That was my note taking, and that was very critical of them. And you'll probably see a lot of mine is how they were different and went for it. Like the creativity and going for it, and not just standing there and being the person who sings all your songs. We get that. Go to a concert of yours. We get that. I want to see something different. So yeah, that's what I wanted to.
That's a great question. And when you are ranking these things, then what criteria, what lens are you looking at these halftime shows through?
I kind of went to the fact of like how creative was the first part. Like, are they getting creative? And I had Katy Perry on there. I wanted to drop her down because it wasn't as good, but those damn Sharks were so good. I had to move them up. And she was creative. Same thing with Black Eyed Peas. They were creative. They went for it. It was a decent show. But my other thing is like, if I'm going to a halftime show and I'm watching a sports event, why not have something that's like energetic and fun? And if you want to pull on the heartstrings, fine, do it. But like make it make sense. And so I think just like that Bruno Mars one, it started off kind of like, kind of cool and chill. And then it got jumping crazy. And then it ended up with like a tribute to the military. And I thought that was awesome. And so that's why it was higher on my list than others. So that's why I had that on there. And yes, Prince is definitely, I see everybody talking about Prince. Prince and Purple Rain is definitely in my top 5.
I'm with Scotty Too Hottie. I thought Snoop and Dre's was a can't miss. So,
well, I challenge you.
No,
I don't want to give anything away. Go back and watch some of these compared to the ones that even on my list or anybody else's list. Compare them outright. Not think of like, hey, I love Dr. Dre, I love Snoop. I do as well. But go compare them and use your criteria to do what you want. But I went back and watched it, and I do like it, enjoyed it, but it didn't do it for me.
Okay.
Like
So I would suggest to all of you, and first of all, thank you for hanging out with us here. It's been 40 minutes of just absolute fun and nonsense. Go check out that that ranking simply because when I saw it, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, I can kind of see where it's going, but it really does make me, I am so eager for this top 1 through 5 to drop tomorrow. It's tomorrow at 8:00, correct?
That's correct.
Tomorrow, 8:00 Eastern time. Yeah, I can't wait to see who makes number 1 now. But
It'll be
with that, listen, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern before the listing drops out for a little trader talk with Seabass. Seabass will be here. DG, Robbie will be back tomorrow. I will see you guys back here on Friday. But until then, take care. Let's go cash these tickets.